6 months ago, Hurricane Ian made landfall in southwest Florida as a Category 4 storm, a strong Category 4 along the coast of Fort Myers Beach. It left absolute devastation in its wake. Rushing water from the storm surge and sustained winds of 155 miles per hour wiped out major landmarks and homes. Residents and business owners still working around the clock to clean it all up.
But as ABC Action News reporter Heather Lee is finding out, rebuilding might not be an option for everybody. Heather and photojournalist Michael Brantley were down in the Fort Myers Beach area for days after Hurricane Ian. They were some of the first reporters to get onto the beach to see the destruction firsthand. Well, Heather went back down there this past week to get a glimpse of what life is like there now and what people are still struggling with.
6 months ago, before Hurricane Ian, this was Times Square. This was a gathering place for locals and tourists. This was a very popular spot. A few days after Hurricane Ian, this became ground zero for search and rescue and first responders. They were eating, sleeping, and bathing here. This was where they would gather to decide where they were going on the island for search and rescue to try and find people who were potentially still stuck in their homes.
About 11:18, the water started coming down the street. It was only 6-8 inches high, but by 1:30, it was halfway up my stairs to the house.
A storm unlike anything Brad Richards has ever seen before.
They've always warned us about the water coming in, and we didn't get any of that at any of the other storms. Charlie, I think I had a ½ inch up the driveway in the garage. And then Irma, we didn't get anything because the wind blew the water out.
Richards and his girlfriend Jill Sanders admit they were fortunate this time around, even though there were moments at the height of the storm where fear began to set in.
When I looked down the street there, I said to Jill, I said, look down the street right there. I said, I've never seen that house, and that's when the paranoia strikes you that, how much higher is this water going to go and where is it going to go?
These are some of the images Richards captured 2 days following Hurricane Ian. For reference, in the video to the left, the top of the blue house can be seen behind mounds of debris and homes that floated away from their foundations. All of that is gone now. The video to the right is what it looks like now.
They were like bowling balls. They came across the street, and when you drive down the beach, you'll see that the first 4 or 5 houses on every street that there were old cottages on the beach, it just mowed them down like bowling pins.
A lot of the homes or land where homes once stood along Estero Boulevard, as well as neighborhoods in between, are for sale. Neighbors say a lot of folks just can't afford to fix their homes or rebuild.
After they're only going to get, 3/4 of what their place is worth, and then it cost, another half of that just to rebuild. So, a $700,000 you're going to cost you 1.2 to rebuild a minimum code house here anywhere.
Sherry Schlottman is doing that now with mostly personal funds.
We knew that it was going to be difficult, but it's nothing like you imagined. We're still fighting our wind insurance.
She says some of the flood insurance money has come in, but any corrections to the insurance company's list will have to wait. The company tells her it's still working on initial claims, and that's not all she's fighting.
We had damage to the roof from the wind, but by the time you take the depreciation off and the deductible off, I'm in the hole.
But she says for now, the work will continue. She admits the damage in the wake of the storm was
unbelievable.
And still is. Most homes and businesses don't have power. 6 months later, there's still no plumbing in many of the condos and high-rises. The basic things humans rely on have still not been restored, making life on the island extremely difficult.
You would like to think that you're not that unlucky to have it happen again.
Determination often prevails, and here in Fort Myers Beach, you can see and hear that all around. Heather Lee, ABC Action News.